Hi, Luminaires. Hi, Lumies. How is everybody doing? My name is Jamie Butler. I'm the Everyday Medium, and today we are going to talk about October's energy update for the year of 2023. I'm so surprised this is happening so quick. We're going to be in the 10th month. I feel like we just began this journey. I commonly trans-channel my guide Maitland, who is a youthful, young, spirited guide, to give you the information about October. And she will, well, I usually channel her. Today I'm not. I'm going to stay present and give you the information of what I'm hearing. And she is going to relay the message about which chakra is going to be challenged, needed, and supported for the month, the two types of energies that are happening this month. She broke it down into two parts. She's also going to talk about what stones to keep with you to grid on your bed to help you balance these energies for the month, as well as essential oil, so you can have it in the air, as well as sound Hertz, animal for the month, sound Hertz, healing for the month, as well as spirit animal for the month. She just kind of goes on and on and on, but I think it's wonderful. It's a way to energy match where you are and to kind of ride the wave instead of being buried under it. So all the information is directly from Maitland. I'm going to do my best to stay present and deliver it to you. I'll be checking the chat thread. If you need clarity questions, please put your fingers to the keyboard and type those up for me. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell for when we go live, which I try to do so weekly. And we have great in-depth conversations about all things woo-woo, but they're not woo-woo, they're true. And I'd love for you to join me on that. I do have a few classes coming up, so I'm just going to take like 2 minutes of your time to share with you what's coming up with us. I'm doing a compassionate communication course starting October 31st. It is a wonderful way to get into how to communicate with subtle light spirit, as well as those people who are around you, using compassion instead of the other kind. And we have Luma Summit coming back to Atlanta. This is thanks to Bonnie Kasimasima. Thank you. She's putting this together for October 20th through the 22nd. That's going to be at Full Circle Studio here in Atlanta. So please do come by for that. I also have a remote crystal gridding healing coming up. So if you are interested in how to place your crystals and you have favorites that you've been holding on to, but you just don't really know where to put them, bring them to this. This is going to be on the 13th of October, and I will walk you through it, and we will do a gridding and healing. There's also a healing for building better confidence and health, and that's going to be on the 18th. You can see those links beneath in the description, as well as probably posted up on the chat thread. Let's get into October. Maitland is waving like hands and limbs everywhere, saying hi. I want to let you know I also have my friend Laura Boone here of
Hi.
Crystal Sisters. You can hear her off screen.
Hello.
So if she has a question, she's going to be chiming in, and I'm going to lean on her for some clarity, because sometimes Maitland says things that are a little over my head. But I have notes. She calls this, of course, October is going to be our eclipse seasons. We do have 2 eclipses, solar and lunar, this month on the 14th and the 28th. That's going to be really interesting energy. But she calls this the intuition season. So this month, get ready to rev up on intuition and get challenged in some ways because of our sensitivities. The strange weather patterns, like all the abundance of water she was talking about last month, is still rolling into this month. So if you are in locations that just naturally have some lively weather, hunker down, be prepared. There's a lot of preparedness in this month, I noticed, which I like a heads up, but also if you're giving me a heads up, what's coming? Don't you like what is coming? So it is time to prepare for your weather changes. She broke down the month into 2 parts. So we're going to talk about the first half. And the first half is more of a solar plexus kind of a location. Oh yes, major solar flares happening right now. Nezi 1111 says, and that's paired with our full moon coming up in a few days. So sensitives, please tap into your breath work. Nice, long, soft breaths. You can do this. Is October due to be better or easier than September? I would say Easier than, right, she agrees, easier than September, just a little bit more unique. I guess it's flared with more intuition, which can be very unique. So on the first half, she said you're going to see a lot of the results that you were looking for in the summer. Whatever seeds you planted in the summer, come June, July, maybe you're thinking about launching something, building a different relationship, diving into a new career. This should be coming to fruition in October. So you will start to see that. Anything that's no longer working for you is just going to be eliminated, like zapped, gone. So if you've been working on releasing, but yet you tap back in, you're like, it's still sitting there, but I let it go and I forgave it, but yet it's still coming back. She's saying that when you go to react to it again, it's gone. And then it's kind of like, oh no, I don't really have that. What am I going to do with that now? She says you're going to feel much lighter and much happier. And that's right from the get-go, right in the first week of October. It's kind of this, I feel lighter and I'm different. And I was talking to her before this because I want to understand the material since I'm talking about it. And the way that she described it to me was that because we're moving more from an intuitive sense, meaning you're not going to go straight into logical thinking. You'll dive straight into thinking, not even thinking, you'll dive straight into being intuitive first. So gut reaction, claircognizant, clairvoyance, audience, however you tap into subtle light energy, that's going to be your first go-to. And then you think about it, or then you have this feeling attached to it. So our systems for approaching our day-to-day decision-making is shifting. And so this is the first month we really get to feel that. She says you definitely gain power over your own energy. So we're in control over it. Where September was like, hey, I have a little some of this. Here, take a load of this. And you were just managing how it was working out. This one is, I know my boundaries. Like, I know where my edges are. Softly, you know, we don't have hard edges by any means, but I'm aware of it and I have a relationship with it. So you will have power over your own energy. And then she mentions this strange thing coming into the second week, that you're going to have those hidden motivations. Like, I took it as a manipulation, and she's telling me, no, Jamie, no. This is more like, I'm not a fan of the word hidden. I think that's where I get hung up. Having a hidden motivation to me is like,
unconscious.
Yeah, like unconscious, it's secretive. It can jump up and kind of take some energy away from you. She's like, no, that's not it. Do you know how you have, and she explained it this way, you wish things like, oh, I wish of this, or I want to be like, it's kind of like a longing, or it's on my goal list, but I don't really have steps, or I don't know how to embody it yet, but it's there. It's kind of, it turns into a hidden motivation. So take time to daydream coming into the second week. Put it on your list to daydream about where you see yourself being. Not how you're going to get there, but like pretend to go ahead and embody it. Because that is the hidden motivation that kind of comes back into action, and it naturally is the foundation supporting you, even though you were just lightly daydreaming about it. You didn't know how to hold it, buy it, incorporate it. It just supports you. Colleen is very excited to have some daydreaming on her list. I am too, because I'm super good at it. She also says in the second week that your strength is going to be fueled by the chaos that's going to be around you. So anything that's in an upheaval, shifts at last second, it's not going to hit that panic button on you, but it's going to give you this, now I know what to do. Oh my gosh, now I know how to show up. Like this instant strength, which that's very different than September's energy. She's also said that this is not the time to overshare. So a little more introspect, please, that we're all going through this together and that we need to practice when to hold our tongue. We need to focus on honesty when we're sharing and not to overstretch, not to over agree to things. You might be excited because opportunities are going to be popping up since you have that internal motivation based on, you know, your intuition, what you were wishing how it would be, that kind of soft, we're talking about applying the daydreaming effect. All of this, you're going to get all these opportunities that are just going to be like delicious. Oh, that fits me. Oh, I'm attracted to that. I've always wanted that. Which path do I take? Just don't overstretch yourself. Opportunities are going to come back around. Not a problem. Pick what you can handle and go with that. And this slams us right up onto the 14th, which is where we have our first eclipse. This is our solar eclipse. And in our solar eclipse, this is where you get to set the tone for a full year, not for the rest of the year, but for the full year. It's a good time to, on the 14th, like mark your calendar. What is the tone of the lifestyle or the life that I am living? How do you want to embody that? You know, is it ease? Is it power? Is it leadership? Is it flow? Like, what is this kind of tone that you're putting out? Because this energy coming in this day is going to add a lot of extra light. Is going to add light into dark areas of your life. So it can bring in new aspects, new life, new energy, new power. And if you have your tone set, all of that coming in is going to feed it. And it can feed it for a full year cycle. So get excited about that day. Don't make it nerve-wracking. Put a smile on your face. These are all the things that you want to engage with, right? You're looking for an alignment with being a little woo-woo and a little energy sensitive. You know, how do you apply that to every day? This is a great opportunity. Try it on, see how it works. And then we get to right after the solar eclipse, it gets really methodical energy, powerful energy, and this methodical, like the repeat. It's almost like you can rely on the same dosage of energy, unlike September. And this is about a week. Can tap into it, feels good, gives you the same kind of power, the same kind of energy, and it will tend to feed what you're working on. So this doesn't have to be career-led, but what are you working on? Are you working at overcoming your fear of low self-esteem, lack of confidence, being vulnerable, being seen? You know, that's a big thing to work on. Working on community, or it could be you're working on getting a new job or finalizing a divorce. Whatever it is, you're going to get a good dose of support in this week. Though some of you may feel the quite opposite. So she says, wherever you are in your life and depending on your perspective is how it's going to play out. On the opposite end, you may feel like there are a lack of resources. Like I'm doing everything that I can, but I don't have anything to support me. So this difference is going to be the dial of your perspective. And your perspective on your life is kind of like the faucet. You can turn it off and have no water come out, or you can just fully open it up and it's just spitting like abundance. So change your dial on your perspective. If you feel like you're high and dry and lack of resources, look at it from a different way. That will open it up, and then you're going to get this methodical, really powerful, supportive energy for that week. This puts us into learning the lesson on controlling our mental chatter. I was like, I don't think I'm going to enjoy this phase. I have a lot of mental chatter. Some of it's mine, some of it's spirit, but it's alive and well. And she said, at this point, we're really engaging the solar plexus. And so here our solar plexus is going to be challenged, which means that if it's challenged, it's not challenged to perform, but the way that October is rolling out, it's freely giving that beautiful yellow energy. We're just coming off a solar eclipse. Sun, the sunlight, the yellow, the abundance, all of it's coming. Our solar plexus can get overcharged, and then we end up in a vicious cycle. We think too much. We don't know when to close our mouth. We don't know when to hold our tongue. We don't know these certain boundaries that would feel very common day to us. So she is pairing this solar plexus challenge for the month with an amethyst stone. Amethyst, if you know, is a violet or purple in color, and it is the complementary color to the yellow solar plexus. The yellow solar plexus chakra relates to the me energy. It's located right beneath the curve of the ribs. right here. Can you see it? So right there, and it engages in personality, how you express your identity, personality, laughter, knowledge, control, leadership. All of these things kind of come here from the body. And so if we have all of this coming in, it can override how we behave. So if we balance it out with its complementary energy, which is also called like its astral shadow, if you want to get into those terms. So the yellow frequency's astral shadow is violet, and so therefore the amethyst. Now the amethyst is known as the sleeper stone. It is a calming, cooling agent. It helps with decreasing stress, anxiety. It loosens up fear. It's just easy breezy. I just like saying easy breezy. That's what the stone should be called now, easy breezy. So that will help with this controlling your mental chatter and chaos. And then we get into like the end of the third week. And she says this is where this intuitive season is really starting to come alive, kind of coming into the second half of October, intuitive season, and where we can start to trust the greater universal life force energy. So now you'll begin to recognize that you are more than just you, than this luggage, than this instrument. You are something much larger and grander. Don't play small here. You get it? After the 14th, draw an arrow on your calendar all the way to the end, to the 31st, my favorite day, the 31st, and just say, play big, pull out my energy. But this is our time to practice our sensitivities and our everyday usage. The energy right now is supporting it, so it's going to feel, we're not going to feel, I guess, alone in the journey. So these long-running conflicts that you have, Maitland was talking, like if you've had a long-standing argument, a disagreement, something that just hasn't been settling with you, here's the time that it can be resolved. It can just wrap up, bundle up, dissolve. So if you're in relationships with long-standing, it could be marriage, friendships, look at what has been kind of a thorn in your side and take note of what it's like towards the end of October, because it will shift and change. Now, for those of you who are getting into new relationships, which she's so excited, there's lots of hands happening right now. Relationships, there is a gap in processing how we feel about others. I know that doesn't sound like fun. I don't want any gaps on how to process the feeling. She goes, well, what's happening is there's going to be a lot of uncertainty because you're not operating the same way in October. There's a lot of intuitive, sounds so lame if I just blanket it with the term intuitiveness, but it is really what I mean. You're not coming from a mental body first. I'm not going to look and analyze, compare, measure, contrast. I'm going to intuitively come into it. So I might have uncertainty about who this person is, but I have this connection intuitively to them. So there's a gap in the relationship that used to be filled through surface conversation, things of that nature. Classic things like, what is your last name? That's a big one. Where do you live? I don't know, your family, what career do you do? Things that we normally ask to get titles, labels off of them so that we can analyze, measure, compare, contrast about who they are and make up our mind about it. There's the gap. That's not going to be there. We're initially going to come from this feeling. So this pushes up into having the sacral chakra needed. This is the time, end of the third week, coming into the fourth week, where we need our sacral chakra to be strong. Our sacral chakra is located 2 finger widths beneath the belly button. It is orange in nature. It is all about our deep-seated emotions, our creativity, how we do connect to relationships, our vulnerability. It's all in the gut. And Maitland decided to pair it with a sunstone. Sunstone has so much energy. It is like on all the time. I kind of feel zippy zappy when I touch it. These words are really getting me. This is why I don't do the energy update. We let Maitland do it through me. The sunstone is a kind of frequency that says, let's just stay open. We don't need to close down. We have an abundant amount of energy. Let's just stay open. And you do. It also releases fear. It doesn't just release it. I kind of feel like it pulls it out of you and evaporates it. It alleviates stress. It teaches you how to give and receive and create a balance. It's one thing I really appreciate about Sunstone, and it's all about healthy relationships. Give, receive love, healthy relationships. And we're open to it. So knowing our sacral chakra is going to be needed at this time, you could just grab your sunstone, pack it in your pocket, carry it with you. She does not know if you should be putting it around your bed, because that might keep you awake a little bit. So we're going to talk about the bed grading a little bit. But this energy in October pushes us up against the 28th, which is where we have our second eclipse. This is our lunar eclipse. This is that reset button. Have you ever had those electronics where you're like trying to get it to work, and it just won't? And then you're like, well, let me just unplug it. Let me turn it off. I'll turn it back on, count to 10. I'm always told count to 10. I don't even know if that does anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You plug it back in or you turn it on and it works. You didn't really have to problem solve anything. You just had to take the energy out of it and then allow it to come back in. So this is what our lunar eclipse is doing naturally for us. It's helping us to unplug and to reset. And this can lead us to a different path, a new path. It can be a very quick result as well. This does not have to be I'm slowly waking up and coming to a decision. It could be just I call it a V8. Do you still call it a V8? For those of you who are younger and don't know what a V8 is, I mean, there was this commercial where they're all like, I could have had a V8. Okay, this is going to hit you where you're like, I could have just taken a left. Taken, one of those. You take a left and you'll do it. You'll just feel called to do it. Your intuitive body is on. You'll go, I'm on it. And you'll hang left. Your path is completely different. This is a time, put this on your calendar, the 28th. This is a great time to cut cords, release, do some kind of ritual, prayer, honoring, giving 3 minutes of attention to releasing and cutting cords, cutting ties to relationships that you've had, anything that you feel is dense around you. Like 3 minutes, perfectly fine. Take a walk in nature for 15 minutes on that day. Be great. This is a great way to handle this. This is also where your sacral chakra is highly needed. So overall, at the end of the month, this is the time to focus on building new circuitry, like making more connections intuitively, energetically, with more people, more community, more purpose, more meaning. So making new circuitry doesn't necessarily mean a lot of work or effort. It could just you simply saying, yes, I will look at that for 5 minutes. Yes, I will agree to read that pamphlet. You know, they don't have to be big things, but these saying yes and agreeing to connect can build new circuitry. At the end, the 29th, 30th, 31st, she said, this is her favorite part of the whole month. And she said, it's a good time to be yourself without filters. And I was like, Maitland, are you sure you want to put it that way? Do you even know what that means? She goes, yes. This energy is all towards be yourself, play big, reach big. It's not going to be seen as vulgar or aggressive. It's just that's her being her. I mean, that was really funny. Like, it's not a time where people are overly sensitive and they'll take offense to how you are just naturally showing up. So here, you've been working on your intuitive self all month. You've got these beautiful 3 days at the end that you can just stand up really, really big and be you intuitively, unapologetically, without filters, guys. I almost want you to write me privately and tell me how that goes, because I think the collaboration of our stories over the last 3 days of the month would make a great book. She said, you gotta have fun. You gotta have fun. Since it's the intuitive season, drum roll, the chakra that's going to be supported is the crown. I was like, why not the third eye? That's where all the intuition. She's like, no, it's a higher frequency than that. It's out of body frequency. So our third eye is the highest frequency that is produced within our physical body, within our gross energy. Our crown chakra is the first one that is outside of our physical body, working in the subtle light energy. So we have crown chakra being supported, and she chose the amethyst. I was like, well, that's cute. That's the first time I've heard her double up on the same stone for the month. She's like, oh, you just need it. She goes, if you could, I'd say eat it. Don't eat it. It's not edible. Don't listen to the, she's being funny. She just means carry it with you everywhere. No, she's like, take a bath with it. She's like, pair it with the water that you drink. She's just all into it. She says it helps balance your mood so well that this would be so wonderful to have an abundance for October when your energy levels are high for, being intuitive and being sensitive in this way. Having that balanced mood on top of it will help you with the imposter syndrome. It'll help you with the Debbie Downer, like, oh, you got that hit. You knew, but it wasn't real. It's your imagination. Where, your mind somehow like eats up your intuitive hits. So amethyst is going to help smooth that out. It's also going to help release a little bit of like fear, anger, or rage. That kind of conflict that can spike up when you're getting big messages from what you might deem important sources. And you're like, but who am I to receive this message for such an important source? And so you have this conflict. It's really boosting and leveling out your esteem and your confidence. This is what amethyst is going to do. And obviously increase your intuition. So, we only have 2 stones for the month, sunstone and amethyst. Let's talk about how to grid it. When you're gridding your bed, she wants you to stay with your black tourmaline. This is your protector, grounder. It also does a really good job on cleaning other stones. Definitely want to put that lovely amethyst around your bed. Your bed is a place of sanctuary, calm, rest, restoration, sleep. And it is the sleeper stone. So you will get some good quality sleep for the month. The sunstone. Do not put it around your bed. It's a little counterintuitive with the amethyst. It has a lot of energy to stay up and open. It's a great place to put somewhere where you are in your home a lot. So she says, if you're in your kitchen or if you're sitting at your desk a lot, put the sunstone there. If you have a long journey in your car, because you commute, that's what it's called. Maitland is a commute. She says, put it in your car. And she says you'll get extremely creative. You can do your energy work in the car, and that will be wonderful. But if you wanted to add more than 2 stones around your bed, you can look at adding selenite this month if you haven't already placed it there. Selenite is going to increase your connection to those higher frequencies and really boost. I mean, it is a boost, isn't it? A little rocket boost, she says. It's a rocket boost to angelic communication, multidimensionals, God source. It's that kind of vibe. So if you're really looking at working on opening your intuitive skills, include the selenite around your bed. So you'll have 3 stones, different stones around your bed, but you'll need to buy 4 of each stone and place the set of 3 stones on each corner of your bed. And if you want to get really creative and you want to make a pyramid to either sleep on top or under, you would put a 5th grouping of stones underneath the center of the bed. So this way you're laying on top of a pyramid pointing to the earth, which means the energy from the earth is being pulled up and you're bathing also in the neutrality energy, neutral ions from the earth. Or you can place them overhead. I suggest using a lot of good tape or something to really get it in there. If you have lights that are sunk into the ceiling, sometimes you can unscrew the framing and you can drop your crystals on the inside and put it back on. I have done this in my house. I think I'm so clever. I don't know why I'm laughing about this. If people,
It's a good thing to do.
whoever buys my house and has to take it apart, they're going to crack up. They're probably going to say, did a crystal store exist here? Like, what is in the walls? Like, they're just hidden everywhere. But if you put it above your bed, then you have a pyramid coming down. So you're pulling universal energy in through the point, coming straight in and bathing you. So you can also do both of them as well. Okay, let's look at the healing Hertz for the month, sound. So for those of you who are in full alignment with sound therapy, let's look at the 480 Hertz. This helps with the crown chakra. And our crown chakra is being supported this month, like especially the last half of the month. So if you want to rev up from after the 14th on, you could listen to a 480 Hertz. And the level of sound we're looking for is something that when you're quiet and you kind of listen beyond what the sound of the room is and you hear it, that's the level. It does not need to be loud at all. So you set that to play for the night or throughout the day, and you can bathe in it. This will help with your spiritual enlightenment, just like that selenite stone. It opens up love and that kind of oneness with the universe. Remember how we talked about in the last half, there's kind of this greater universal support. You just kind of know it, like claircognizantly or gut instinctively know. So I want you to follow it. And to help you have the confidence to kind of follow it, we would pair it with the amethyst or pair it with a 480 Hertz. Or we can pair it with, I know there's just so much. Does Maitland just keep going every month and adding more? Pair it with essential oils. And the blend that she came up with this month, actually, I think I would really like it, is chamomile, bergamot, orange. So 3 drops of chamomile, 2 drops of bergamot, 2 drops of orange. The chamomile is the calmer agent. I mean, we have chamomile tea. We do it to settle our tummy, to help us fall asleep. Notice it's all like stay cool and calm. The bergamot is a citrus. It's a brightener. It kind of polishes the edges of what you're doing. And so you just feel a little bit, you feel better about it. Even if you're going into something that's very difficult, a difficult conversation, or you're confronting someone, or you're being honest when you felt like you might not be supported when you're going to be honest. Like this bergamot will go, hey, it's okay. We're going to get in this. We got this. And then orange is more of a cheery energy. And it's also a very creative energy, which can support. Oh my God, I'm just noticing this. She's so clever. The orange relates to this sacral chakra. God, it's so clever. The bergamot is the solar plexus, and the chamomile is the crown chakra. A lot of the things that she does goes over my head. I'm like, oh, that's a nice thing. I've never put that together before. Okay. For those of you who like to tap into animal energy, your spirit totem, looking at the frequency for the animal energy for the month of October is going to be the dove. I was like, wow, that's so spiritual and peaceful. She's like, exactly, it's peaceful. It is the be gentle, be loving, be kind, give acceptance. And I was like, wow, it's a lot of giving. And I took it as give to others, right? Outside, give. And she was like, she put her hands on her hips. She was like, no, it's about giving, like to give to self. I was like, oh, okay. Give kindness, give love, give acceptance, give peace, give calm, all to self. So if you are someone who likes to go into deep meditation and partner or be led by animal spirit, see what the dove has to teach for you this month. Lastly, before I look at some comments, what is the best day to communicate with spirit for the month? The best day is with an S, best days, October 30th and 31st. She wanted to throw in some November dates, and I was like, stop there, lady. We're talking about October. She was like, okay. but she really wants to throw in November 1st and November 2nd. It's all the Halloween, right? So good. Hi, Haroon. Hi, Loomies. I'm going to breeze through and see if you had questions needing clarity over the energies month, noting that she kind of divided it into 2 weeks at the beginning. It's a little more of that solar plexus energy. And then the 2 weeks at the end is more of that intuitive energy. I would definitely pay attention to how to prioritize your intuitive self first for October, because it starts off with a bang. And it's like overnight. It's weird. I don't know how that happens. You go to bed one night, September is gone, the energy is gone, and now October is here. But it is marked that way, and this month you will absolutely feel it that way. Patty says that Maitland reminds her of her many third grade students over her 30 years of education. She loves the energy. Oh, I keep hitting this table. Yes, I like hearing that. To me, she's so funny. AO said, I was thinking sandstone when you first said it, but sunstone is different. Oh, yes, it is. Maja Pigonzi? I don't know. You'll have to help me one day when we meet. My inner child resonates with how Maitland is. When I found you, my inner child was screaming, yes, 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 yes. Maitland, go visit the Loomies. And she loves. She will visit you. Is there another stone to use in place of sunstone? Yes. But she's combining two stones together because she wants that zip, zip feeling. She wants the zip, zip feeling of the sunstone. So if you have bumblebee jasper and carnelian, if you don't, carnelian is fine. It's a good, solid orange. It has a lot with creativity, holding emotions and balancing motions. So she would like that, Carol. Thank you so much for asking that. Any other? Okay, now I'm scrolling all the way down. Sally Jeffrey says, when I play the Hertz and have the stones around, do they support our furry friends in the same way? If you could see how excited she just got. Yes, it does. It supports them absolutely in the same way. She says the only thing that you need to pay attention to is when you're doing the essential oils in a diffuser in the room, be aware of how strong of a scent it is. If you can softly smell it in the background, that's the only amount that you need. It doesn't have to be pungent. It doesn't have to be strong. And there are certain scents that are off-putting and even damaging to animal companions. So if you look up your breed online and you can look at what essential oils are counterintuitive, or it's not counterintuitive, that are not healthy.
They're not helpful.
Yeah, not healthy to dogs.
Yeah.
Canines are different than cats, that are different with horses, different with reptiles, and especially birds. Be ever so careful with birds. I mean, they are so, so sensitive. It might be even better for you just to apply to your wrist or to your area so that you can have the essential oil scent without them being damaged. Any tips for how to boost immunity this flu season? She's got a finger wagging. Does she wag a finger? Oh my God. She goes, we were talking about this in September, and she said at the end, and even in August, talking about boosting your immunity in your own body to help the flu. She loves herbs. I'm listening in my head too, sorry. She's rattling off a bunch of stuff, so I got to get it in order. I don't think this is not being prioritized. So she likes elderberry, it's not eucalyptus, echinacea, thank you. You say it so fast, Maitland. Echinacea. There's also a lung support. If you're already susceptible to lung issues like bronchitis, asthma, allergies, use oregano rosemary, those two. You can add thyme in there, but essential oil and a diffuser to breathe to strengthen the lung lining and tissue is really good. Make sure they're really organic and that they're truly essential oils. Please do not use fragrances for any kind of healing application or topical I mean, you can use fragrance for topical, but not not digesting. Lymphatic?
Lymphatic?
Nope, it's not lymphatic. Lymphatonic? It's a tincture. Maybe somebody knows what it is. There you go. Lymphotonic. I was adding another syllable in it. And my favorite, which Colleen introduced me to, Colleen, what's it called? Used it in Bali. Phytocillin. Those are great boosters in immunity. Same company. There you go. This company is great. Yay. BFFs, Maitland recommended some preparedness for the hurricane belt the second week or so of September. With all the water in October, are there any practical preparations other than the obvious offered? She said, the same goes. Don't worry, it's the same. There's a bright light. It's not going to be totally outrageous, but you're definitely going to need to have some of those backups. Hi, Jamie Bailey. I'm so grateful for these energy updates every month. It's so exciting, wondering what Maitland will tell us next. Thank you, Maitland and Jamie. She's so happy to be recognized. She loves you too. Okay. Any last minute thoughts? It's a lot to take in, but I like that it's a little bit more simple than September. Not that kind of apply your seatbelt. It's more of let yourself shine. Let your intuitive self out. Hi, Dan. Hi, Marnie. Marnie, I'm with you. October is my favorite month. I cannot wait for Halloween, and I'm starting that compassionate communication class on Halloween, and I'm totally going to show up in full costume because I won't have time to dress in the evening. I host my neighborhood party, so I'll just have to come to work in full costume. Oh, Jamie Bailey is adding colloidal silver helps when she's sick as well. And Sarah's adding for the relationship healing, do we need to do the reaching out? No, you don't have to do all the reaching out. But it's more of, because part of the lesson at the beginning there is knowing when to hold your tongue. So if you're reaching out, you might be crossing some boundaries that's enabling the other person not to learn how to reach out themselves. So I would go ahead and do your relationship work internally on what you need, and then move forward, maybe reach out, talk, and ask how to resolve. Good communication. Yay. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I am so touched. If you like this, please hit the like, the thumbs up, and share it with others if you feel it was helpful for you. I definitely enjoy how Maitland includes get the calendar out. Get the calendar out and mark this, because it helps me when I'm sitting down talking to Colleen. We're like, isn't something supposed to be happening right now? Like the 16th of September was out of the world. So for now, we just have our eclipse seasons. Let's harness that big energy and go towards what we want to manifest. Take care, everyone. And remember, it's not woo-woo, it's true. Bye, guys. Take care.